All right. Shit, here we go again. A little bright out. Hopefully it's not too bad. There we go. That's better. Alright, how's it going, everyone? It's me, Dan. Going for a nice little evening ride here. What I kind of wanted to talk to you about today was the idea of a first bike. I've had two first bikes at this point. My first bike was a 1997 Suzuki DR650. Had 5 speeds, was a 650cc single cylinder, and it put down about 45 horsepower. And the reason that I'm not riding on that today is I'm actually on my second new bike, or my second first bike, which is the Honda CB500X. The thing about that other bike was, for one, it was carbureted, which I know carburetors and I understand how they work, but they are a little bit too much of a pain in the ass to deal with for me. Two was I actually had some rust spots that I was trying to take care of. And three was I really learned a lot on it, but then I was looking for something that was a little comfier because the seat was about made of plywood. Now, could I have learned to clean carbs and, you know, got a comfier seat and done a bunch of things to that bike? Yeah, I mean, like, that's totally doable. People do it all the time. But, and I'm not making excuses here for not liking the bike, is I paid $2,000 for that bike. And it was great for just out of the class, learning how to ride the bike and learning how to, you know, how to drop the bike, because I did drop that bike a couple times. And I think that was its purpose to me. Motorcycles, as much as they're fun machines, they're really purpose-driven. This one is going to be my little, hey, I'm going camping and don't want to take the car bike. I've got a bunch of things I'm setting up for it where I can take it camping, and hopefully I can make some videos about that soon. The other side of that coin is that Suzuki DR that I had. It was a great bike, but it didn't really feel like my bike. It felt like a bike that I could ride and I had fun with, and I did some, you know, hooligan stuff on it. This bike fits my purpose much more. And I mean, I don't know if there's any real lessons to be learned here. I think the biggest lesson to learn is find a bike you like and buy it. Find a bike you like in your budget and buy it. When I bought the Suzuki, I was in a spot where I only had about $2,000 to spend on a bike, and that was about the best I could get for the money. Now, one thing I would kind of advise against, and I know a lot of people are kind of on the same boat as me, is don't buy a new bike for your first bike. You're going to drop it. You're going to feel real sad when you drop it right off the, right outside of the parking lot of the dealership. New bikes, one, you don't know the bike so well, so there's a good chance you're going to drop it. Two, you're brand new to riding, so your chances go up of dropping it. And three is the laws of the universe, where once you get a new car or a new bike, the chances of it getting damaged or scratched or anything like that go up immediately as soon as you get it by about 100%. And then as you ride it a little more, you'll kind of stop caring about it as much, and your chances of dropping it actually go down. Now, while, you know, getting a new bike and learning everything on a brand new bike is cool for some people, I mean, I ain't got much cash to spend. I bought this thing used. It's only got only just about to hit 2,700 miles, but I bought it with about 2,500 miles. I put about 200 miles in the month or so I've gotten on it, and it's been great for me. It's definitely been a great bike for me. Actually, I'm gonna turn down this road and see where it takes me. But yeah, I've put about 200 miles on this bike since I got it about a month ago. It's been great for everything I've been trying to put into it. But when I got on this bike, it felt a lot more natural to me. It felt, you know, it's a Honda, so everything's kind of tame, unless you're buying like a Honda leader bike. But yeah, Hondas make tame bikes. They make bulletproof bikes too. Oh, we got some road work ahead. I'm gonna find a road to turn down because I don't really want to deal with it. Oh, the road is closed ahead. Alright. Let's find a detour. But yeah, because, so I would say, you know, anyone out there just got out of class looking to get their first bike, I would say buy what you can afford. If you don't like it, it's real easy to sell a motorcycle, especially nowadays with everyone being kind of stuck at home. Everyone's getting into it, so buy a bike you can afford. If you don't like it, sell it. It's real easy to sell bikes. It takes one Facebook Marketplace to a Craigslist post, and that actually gives you an opportunity to ride a lot more bikes and find a bike that, you know, you didn't necessarily think you liked. As I'm riding more and more, I started out and I was like, I'm never gonna ride a cruiser ever, and I think they're the ugliest things on earth. And now I'm looking at like the Honda Rebel 1100 and the Kawasaki Vulcan S, and I was like, man, those things look comfy. Not to say this isn't a comfy bike, it's a real comfy bike, but those cruisers really look comfy to me. You know, kind of just sprawl out, starfish on the road. Ooh, it's windy. But yeah, if you ever get sick of your bike, it's pretty easy to sell it. I wouldn't, you know, keep any kind of nostalgia value in having your first bike. Unless it's your, you know, you decide that like that's your bike and that's the bike you're gonna have forever, I wouldn't keep any nostalgic value in it. If you get sick of it, just sell it. So anyways, I guess something else we can kind of talk about is what makes a good first bike. It's kind of a loaded question. I mean, there's a lot of things that make a good first bike for a lot of people. Everyone's going to tell you, you know, low displacement. Get an engine with low displacement, low power. I'm riding a bike with low displacement, low power. It's 500 cc's, but it only makes about 47 horsepower on the street. Ew. Bumpy road. Alright. Let's find out where the hell we are. But yeah, so some people are going to tell you low displacement, you know, low power. That's the way to go. I would say, yeah, that's a good idea. Some people say, you know, get something with a low seat height, so you don't have to lean the bike over every time you wanna stop. I'd say, yeah, that's definitely good. You know, make sure your feet are planted on the ground. But like, what these people are all saying is, make sure you have a bike that you feel confident on. Obviously, your first bike right out of the gate, you're never really going to feel confident on it until you get some experience under your belt. You're going to be like, oh, this thing's a little rickety. That's not a bad thing. You know, it's good to have that healthy fear of God when you're riding. But having a bike that's really tall and makes, you know, 200 horsepower isn't gonna create a good experience for you as a beginner rider. It's gonna, you're gonna find yourself more often than not being scared of the bike. I've had my moments on this bike, and I've had my moments on the DRZ or the DR, where I was like, holy shit, this thing's a real machine, and it could really do some damage to me. All right, slow it down. But yeah, so like any bike you can be confident on. I'm sure there's a bunch of people that have started on Yamaha R6s and they're like, oh yeah, that's easy. I know my comfort level, I know what I'm confident in and what I think I can do. R6 wasn't in that for me. Especially starting out. The 650 class of bikes are actually pretty good. They make, you know, a lot of horsepower. They usually sit anywhere between the 70 and 90 range, but it's real manageable. It happens in a real linear fashion. 300 cc's are great, or the 300 class, or now what we call the 400 class. They're great. They're the patron beginner bike. I mean, people starting on, you know, Ninja 300, Kawasaki R3s, or I'm sorry, Kawasaki R3s, Yamaha R3s forever. And it's a real good way to get into riding bikes. If you're looking for a starter cruiser, the Harley Iron 883, or, I mean, if you're not as well off as Harley wants you to be, maybe getting a used Sportster is a great idea, just because, you know, people have put a lot of work into those. Yeah, if there's anything that you should kind of like take out of this video, I would say probably, you know, the best bet is to, whatever bike you buy is going to be the right bike for you. I wouldn't stress too much about if I got the right or wrong bike. If you know the purpose that you want to have with your bike, and you find something that's comfortable that fits that purpose, you got the right bike. It's about as easy as that. You can feel pretty comfortable knowing that, hey, I made a good decision. All right. It is windy. So I think I'm going to call it here. I mean, I've been on the road for a little bit, but be sure to like the video. You know, subscribe to the channel if you like to see what I'm doing and the rides I'm going on. It's gonna help me get a couple of those milestones I'm looking forward to. I don't know if this is like my end game goal, but like this is a little short-term goal. I want to put some videos up, learn how videos work, learn how to edit, how to create videos, how to kind of get my thoughts down in video format and make sure they are at least cohesive. But yeah, no, like the video, give the video, subscribe, leave a comment. I like to see what everyone is thinking, and you know, you guys are all like, oh man, Dan, you're a terrible rider. I know. But having fun. It's all about the fun for me. I mean, these are fun little machines. All right, thanks. Bye, guys.